what I do is that I diagnose and I treat mental health disorders. There's an assessment that goes along with that just to see if there's actual disorder. There's certain criteria that have to be met in order for them to have a certain diagnosis. And once that diagnosis is met, I find out what is it that the client wants to have happen. How are you today? Fine. Okay, so how was your week?
How was my week?
How was your
Today
week?
just Thursday.
Okay. Since we saw each other last, how was your week since we last saw each other?
Huh?
Did we manage some triggers? Did we process our decisions before we make those decisions? Remember, because the last session we had, we spoke about, making some irrational decisions, making some impulsive choices regarding the call from the police. Or Stephanie, she has a lot of erratic behaviors, a lot of irrational thinking. She makes a lot of impulsive decisions that aren't healthy, such as calling the police on neighbors. And a weekend, it can be about 25 times because she complains about noises that they allegedly make. But every time the police come out and investigate, there's never ever any evidence of loud noises, nor do they write a citation for the neighbor. So it's understood that there are some great delusions about noises because she claimed to hear noises at apartments that has been vacant.
Oh, wow.
So,
would you say her behavior is sort of sporadic?
yeah, it's very impulsive. It's very sporadic. It's very irrational. For instance, when she leaves her house, she thinks if someone says hello to her, it's threatening as that they're trying to flirt with her and try to make sexual advances. She refers to them as ugly, crackhead, brown skin, and black perverted men. Yeah. So how are you with those thought processes and decision making? So did you have any incidents this week that you had to call the police?
Got that right.
Okay. So you want to talk to me and tell me about that? So what incident happened that had you...
Duh. Apartment 6K and Apartment 6M like always.
Okay. You said duh. So it's the standard that happens with you every week that what? So what was it? Is the same complaints about noise? Is the same complaints about slamming doors, banging on walls? What was it that prompted you to call this time?
Because oh my God.
It's okay.
I
You can process
last
it.
night.
I want you to
Last
tell
night,
me where you're
that
comfortable.
noisy, loud, ugly. I ain't shy. I'm talk.
Okay. Yeah, I want you to process and talk to me about it.
That noisy, loud, ugly crap. Female living in Apartment 6K. She was making a lot of loud, disturbing noises. She was stomping real loud and banging up against her living room wall. She made me so mad, so I started yelling and screaming right through me and my kids' living room wall at her. And she was
Okay.
calling me, run my blood pressure. Then I got mad.
Okay.
Get mad, and I called the police.
Okay. So we talked about when we're triggered.
I wasn't
Okay.
just yelling and fussing with her
Okay.
through the walls. I was cursing at her.
Okay.
Cursing at her.
So those noises
Oh.
got you upset to the point to where you had to react in a way to as you wanted her to hear your frustration with the noise, or did you want
Yeah.
to get her frustrated
else?
to the level that you were? Which one is it?
Both.
Okay. So we talked about when we're triggered, to a level to where we feel that we want to make an impulsive decision, or we start to get on that processing of some irrational thoughts. We had some things that we talked about that we processed. So-
Writing already.
Okay. So we talked about coping skills. Did you attempt at any time to use any of those coping skills before you decided to bang on the walls and curse through the walls?
I ain't bang on the wall. I'm not retarded.
So you
I
just
heard.
said, so you just cursed through the
I don't
walls?
bang on the wall.
Okay. So what part led you to calling the police?
I don't bang on the wall. Hurt my hands.
Okay. So you said that you used derogatory and profanity back.
Because she wouldn't have stopped she wouldn't have stopped stomping real loud. She wouldn't stop banging up on the walls.
Okay. So did you attempt to reach out to her?
So loud. Then she had me with bad headache.
Okay. But did you attempt to reach out to her to let her know that those noises are quite disturbing and can you please quiet the noise down? Did you make that attempt?
Well, she think everyone is like a predator.
She think everyone who's of a darker skin or a minority that they have ill will or intent, even when it's something as harmless as saying hello.
So she don't act that way towards Caucasian males or white men.
Now it's reported that she says that white men do not flirt with her, so she don't see them as a threat. That it only happens with ugly, loud, crackhead, black and brown skinned perverted men. So that's quoting how she explains them to me. How are we solving our issue with impulsive decision making? How are we solving those? Because when we really stop to think about it, right? We're doing the same thing and we're getting the exact same results. Because you did good. You know, for a while you refrained from calling, right? And there were no incidents of calling the police for 3 weeks.
This nice police officer I talked to this morning told me.
Okay. So how many times would you say that you called the police?
They're going to take that they don't handle it and they're going to make sure it don't happen again.
Okay. So how many times did you call the police since last session, which was a week? How many times have you called the police on neighbors?
I don't know.
Give me a ballpark figure. Because I can find out.
I was doing good the whole time, not calling, but they pushed me too far.
So I want to read this out to myself. It looks like you've processed a whole lot. I won't read every single thing, but I just wanted to read some basic inserts that you have so I can see if your processing on paper it matches your actions.
She has kids, right?
She has children.
By a black male.
Yes, she does. So, I mean, there's a lot of trauma that has happened with her ex-husband.
Oh, okay.
So that could help explain, some of her insecurities or why her guard may be up. It could help explain it because of some trauma that she suffered. But my concern is, of course, for her, but with her children as well, because a lot of those behaviors are learned. They model that behavior. They get that behavior through verbal persuasion.
She may be possible she could be passing that behavior on to her kids as well.
It's a possibility because we learn. It's called social learning theory, and our environment and how we socialize. There's a lot of how we learn our behaviors. So and some people say, "Oh, he's acting just like his mother. He acts just like his father." It's a lot of times that we unconsciously model behavior that we've grown up to see. So it's just all learned behaviors. But the beautiful thing about learned behaviors is that we call it extinguished. Basically means that it can be changed. So we can get rid of those unhealthy or maladaptive behaviors and replace those with some healthy ones. So it is doable, but the more we become familiarized and the more we become conditioned to a behavior, the harder it is to extinguish because it's been a learned condition for a substantial period of time. So, Angel, my friend, tell me, how was your week?
It was good. I had fun, actually.
Okay. So, explain to me how you have fun. Talk to me about it.
We don't have family fun nights no more. usually we're forgetting and we're getting out the house more. But I had fun during the weekend because my sisters came, and then my dad he was playing basketball with us for a little while after me and him came from work because he works in the field, and I went with him and to earn some money and stuff.
Okay. So, because I know that we talked about family night was a very big deal, and we talked about how it brought you guys closer together, because you guys were, at somewhat a disconnect. So, you're okay with family night not being done as much?
Yeah, I'm okay actually, because basically we talk during the dinner now. Like
Okay.
we talk like our expressions and stuff.
Do you have conversations about your day or about what's going on, about what's bothering you,
Yeah.
things of that nature? Okay, so
Actually-
before those things were not going on?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So how do you feel about being able to express yourself? Because we talk in sessions about being able to express yourself because your voice does matter, and your feelings are a big deal. So are you feeling that now you have more of a vehicle, which means an opportunity to do that now? Are you comfortable with doing it?
Yeah, I'm comfortable doing stuff like that.
So how would you say that the relationship with you and your dad now, so going back from when we first started to now, so how would you say that the relationship is now between the two of you?
So I would say before we started, I'll say it was a 1, but now it's like a 10.
Okay. So before we started, you said it was a 1. So 1 meaning not good?
Yeah.
Okay. So 1 is like the lowest you can go. Okay. So now you said from a 1 to a 10. Okay. So why do you think it's at a 10 now?
Because he's spending more time with me, and he spends times with both of my sisters, my brothers, and all of us. He spends time with all of us together as a family and stuff.
Okay. So a lot of those things that we talked about, that we went over in therapy, expressing your feelings, expressing that you sometimes feel that you're not being heard or you're not being seen. So those tools that that you gain in therapy. So are you using those more in the home
Yes.
or everywhere? So are you using those more?
Yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere. Okay. So is it more comfortable? Are you more comfortable using it now? Before? Is it because you're getting the results that you wanted? Yeah. Usually when we get the results we want, things become more easy and we become more confident in doing those things. So would you say that game that you guys first started as to bring you guys closer? So would you say the game was the one that springboarded it? Well, which got it started to bring you guys closer together, or was it something else?
It was actually that and the Uno cards.
That and Uno cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
My family and us, we like to play different types of cards, like the diamonds and the hearts, or the Uno cards. We like to play those a lot.
Okay, so at dinner time, I know you said that you guys have conversations and talk more. So what is it at dinner that you talk about that you get a chance to express more? What is it that you talk about?
Actually, that's the only place I can talk about.
Okay.
You deal with all age ranges, but also you physically go to your clients as well. They not only come here, but you go to them as well too.
Yes, and going back to that 98%, I said not since, but in lieu of that, their economic status is what it is, and some people live, let's say, 10 miles away, 15 miles away, 20 miles away, 30 miles away. It's sometimes difficult due to their financial situation. In order for them to even get on public transportation to come here, it may take away from some necessities in the home. So they need services I mean, like they really need it,
Yeah.
but say it's difficult for them to come and receive the services. I understand that.
Yeah.
There's some of my colleagues in the profession that looks down or are not favorable of therapists going to the home to, do individual and or family therapy. But my take is, if I don't go to them, how will they be served?
So what happened? What's the situation with this?
Well, she didn't want to be filmed on camera. Before, last week she said that she did, but today she changed her mind. Sometimes that happens as well. But he's made quite some progress. We've been working together for about a year now.
Okay.
He had a lot of issues with his behavior. He's diagnosed with conduct disorder. We'll call him TR by his initials.
Okay.
But he's made great strides with decreasing those unacceptable behaviors. He's decreased the amount of excessive talking in class. He's decreased leaving a seat without permission. He's decreased those defiant behaviors that got him in a lot of trouble, along with not following directions. So he really has worked hard on his treatment plan. Like I said, we're about a year in, and he's on the verge of being discharged. All right, Terrence. I know our session is a little untraditional today. We have some guests that's here, okay? But however, we're going to carry on like we always do, and we're going to process from what we left off, okay? So last session we talked about expressing your anger and being able to express how you feel, a range of emotions. So I noticed that I gave you this for homework assignment, and you did not complete it, and I also gave you this as a homework assignment. Okay? So, but that's okay. Because sometimes we have homework and we don't do it. Just like you have homework about school and you don't do it as well, right? So, that's okay, but we can go over it in this session. So, since I saw you last, I knew that, you told me about what triggered you to get upset and what led you to wanting to leave the class. All right, so I knew you said, Mr. Perry, I don't like reading. Mr. Perry, I don't like writing. So, has anything changed within the last week? You still don't like reading, you still don't like writing? Huh? That's still the case. Okay? So what about expressing when you're upset? You still have a hard time expressing when you're upset, which means talking about it. Because I understand your actions about expressing yourself is still the exact same. Which is when we throw desks over, want to leave the classroom. Has that changed within the last week? You can speak. No? Okay. So you would say that we still have some things we still need to work on so we can start decreasing some of those incidents. I'm at Memondre Elementary School. I had a meeting with the assistant principal in reference to TW. He has one of the more severe childhood disorders, which is intermittent explosive disorder. There are a lot of aggression that goes with that disorder. There's a lot of disruptive behaviors that go with that disorder. And there's a lot of defiance that goes along with that disorder. So she and we met briefly today just to discuss his progress. I've been with TW since September, and here we are 2 months in. He's still having a number of issues with we're learning to recognize triggers and beginning to manage those triggers, and to practice some of the coping skills. So she and I talked about what she's observed and witnessed here, and she gave me a full report of things that she's witnessing, and I've talked to her briefly about some things that we've covered in session in the home. Like I said again, to reiterate, TW has a very severe disorder because of the violent tendency and natures of that disorder. Being in second grade, he's there with other children. So when he's triggered and he doesn't learn how to calm himself down, he has the tendencies to throw chairs, kick trash cans, walk out of the class without permission, and also become physical towards teachers. So we want to make sure that we stay in congruence with each other according to his treatment plan, so we can help him the best we can to help decrease these behaviors. She informed me of some things that she witnessed, such as he's been crying a lot lately for no apparent reason. That's information that's new to me. I just have the information that was reported more of the disruptive and aggressive behaviors. So now I'll go to the mom, and she and I will speak about it to see if there's something that may be triggering it, or just to see if there's a particular pattern that can be occurring with the crying. So she informed me of that. She also informed me today that he has not been eating lunch. And she said that's been going on for a number of weeks when he is here. What is alarming and what also disturbs me is not the fact that he's not eating lunch because of nutrition, because I have to look at that and see if that's a contributing factor to some of these unacceptable and maladaptive behaviors. But it's reported that he has a lot of absences from school. Some are excused, but there are a lot that are not excused. So if we're going to have a treatment plan, which I came to speak with her about today, his treatment plan, if we're going to have a treatment plan and we really want that treatment plan to work, well, we're going to have proper nutrition, and we're actually going to have to show up to school. What has happened that given him some type of epiphany that Jordan said, I get it, I understand, I need accountability and responsibility for my actions.
Okay.
I cannot leave the classroom without permission. I have to follow the rules that pertain to everyone in the class or the entire school. So why do you believe that he has it now?
Because he's trusting the plan that we have in place. Meaning, I don't know about Clark, he has to speak for himself, but the plan is his brother's going to check on him. His brother called him, he was Snapchatting in school, I think it was yesterday or something like that. His brother Snapchatted him back and said, you're supposed to be paying attention in school. So that was accountability. And he said, I'm sorry. And then, but he said he had permission to be on the phone, but his brother still held him accountable. You still need to do what you're supposed to be doing. And he brought some grades to me this morning, 80, 90, 75, was it 100 in there? 100. So they were all good grades. Two of them was like 60s, but he went to, one was Ms. Hunt and one was Ms. Peterson, because with his IEP he get to do the work and make it up.
Accommodation, right.
That was a problem that Ms. Peterson was having with him, because when she would hold him accountable to redo the work, he didn't want to do it.
Okay.
So they initialed it on December the 12th, and he was making up his work, so he's doing it, and so he's seeing, and I told him this morning, I said, so you see, with these grades, they're there to help you. So
okay. So you're saying that the interjection with his older brother, helping him reinforce what he's supposed to do. Okay, but remember the session that we talked about, that Jordan has people that has to remind him or has to push him to do things that his own accountability responsibility is supposed to be on himself. Okay, so now let's suppose we take that away, that his brother stops doing that. So talk to me and tell me, what is it that has turned it around? Because your mom said, oh, he has it now, he's gotten it. So is that how you feel? I need to hear you tell me. Tell me. Okay, no, so tell me, what is it that has changed that you're going to follow the rules, not leave the class without permission, not talk back to teachers, do the work that you're supposed to do? What is so different that you got it? What is convincing? Convince me that that's what it is now.
I just don't talk in class. I just just do my work and then just wait till class is over.
And how long have you been doing that?
Ever since Monday.
So you just do your work, you don't talk in class. What about following the rules and permissions? Or needing permission to do certain things?
If I have to do something, I'll just go ask. And the only reason why I got frustrated at my teacher is because when she told me that I can get water, I don't see what's wrong with me going to the bathroom as I'm going to get water, because she thought I was skipping class.
Okay.
So, because every time if I go out, I'll be like, oh, can I go to the bathroom? She'll be like, why didn't you go when you were out getting water? That's what most of my teachers say, so I mean, I don't see what's wrong with that. She thought I was skipping, and I asked her if she could check the camera. She didn't want to check them, so.
Okay. So you because you didn't see anything wrong with that, you took it upon yourself to still do it, even though the permission was not granted. You kind of like see how that can present a problem? Can you kind of like see that? Even outside of school. So you think that that situation is not going to present itself again? It's only, what, 1.5 of the school year? You have another half of the school year to go. So you don't foresee that situation happening again? Mr. Clark, have you seen these sporadic changes that's being talked about?
I missed 20 minutes.
No, I mean, actually, you're right on time because everything we talked about, you didn't miss anything at all.
Well,
You haven't seen it? Okay.
No.
So I remember one time before, remember 2 weeks ago, that we did some role reversals that you were going to be the main disciplinary in the house.
no.
So how did that go? Talk to me about Clark, because I'm very interested to know how that went. You know?
I laid down some guidelines of what need to be done,
Mm-hmm.
and to this day, none of it's been followed. I said,
Give me an example, please.
bedtime at 11 o'clock. That's not happening. I told Jordan when he gets home from school. I said, Jordan, when you get home from school, from 7:30 to 9:30, you take your bath. From that time, TV off, no laptop, study or read a book.
Mm-hmm.
Just from 7 o'clock, take a shower, a bath, to 9:30. That's your time. After 9:30, no laptop. You can watch TV until 11 o'clock.
Okay.
It's not happening.
So we had 2 weeks. All right. We had 2 weeks. That was put in place. So you're saying not one day that any of those new rules that
The
you
first day,
communicated.
the first day I told him, he did it.
Okay, one day. All right. So the second day.
Nah.
Okay. So Miss Regina, did you intervene at all
No,
during that
nothing
time?
about the rules. I wasn't around when he's supposed to do it.
The last time we had a conversation, she said she didn't want to be involved.
All right, and I know that you guys did do that, and that's why I strongly suggest that the two of you have a conversation about it, so it will be known and understood what
I told her I was gonna start out.
needed or should have been done.
I was gonna start out real. I told Jordan, I said I'm starting out light.
Right, because you gotta get adjusted to
nothing heavy,
change.
nothing where you're gonna be upset. I
Mhm.
said all I want you to do is from 7 o'clock to 9:30, get cleaned up
Mm-hmm.
and do 30 minutes of reading a book or study.
Okay. So study time. Okay, that's your allotted time. So was the homework done in that time, or it wasn't done?
I've never seen Jordan do homework.
Well, at the meeting they told me he doesn't have homework.
Okay, they don't give homework. Okay. So what about the bedtime? Because 11 o'clock is 11 o'clock. Okay, so I mean, if you're in the bed, you're in the bed. If you're asleep, that's on you.
This
But so it's not actually I'm going to bed at 11. Is it I'm picking and choosing when I'm going to bed, or
he
what is
stays up. This morning at 4 o'clock, he was up.
okay? Waking up is waking up. I'm saying, does he actually physically go to the bed at the allotted 11 o'clock p.m.? Okay. So what reinforcements did you come up with if he does not follow the rules?
Well, my hands are tied.
Okay, I'm confused because you
It's,
have the role of the
it's-
disciplinarian
but
and come up with positive and negative reinforcements.
From the last meeting we had,
Mm-hmm.
it was put out that I was in charge. I was sole disciplinary. I was gonna make guidelines.
Right,
I was gonna put my foot down.
creating some
And
boundaries,
she didn't. I put up
some
some
discipline,
boundaries.
some structure. Yeah.
But I'm gonna give you a perfect example.
Yeah, please.
In the dining room. In the dining room on the wall,
Mm-hmm.
there's a mark from maybe 2 feet high down.
Like a drawing on the wall.
No.
I'll show you.
This is from someone getting up against the wall with a belt and sliding down. Okay, I asked Gina, I said, hey, where did this come from?
Just a mark.
Okay.
I said, where did this come from?
That's Jordan sitting right there. And
Okay. So it looks like it needs, like a scratch going all the way down, right?
Right.
And
Okay.
a black mark.
Black mark. Okay.
And I vacuum every day, not every day, but every in that room. I've looked at the wall, didn't see it. When we first moved to the house, there was some paint on the wall, but that's another corner of the room. Not where this damage is.
Okay.
So I said, Gina, where'd this come from? And she said, Jordan, get up against the wall and slide down. When you slid down, the same thing happened on the other wall. Well, I tried to clean it up. I said, that hadn't been there.
So you think you purposely vandalized the wall?
Well, when Jordan gets up against the wall and he slides down, because
Okay.
he slides down, and his belt could have done it, his pants could have done it.
So what was the outcome and the results of that?
That
Was it talked about? Did he?
Gina,
make an attempt
she got
to-
upset at me because I brought it to her attention, and she said I blamed Jordan for it.
I didn't tell you that.
What'd you tell me?
First of all, I was on the phone with my cousin,
Okay.
and I was sitting on the couch, and it was the Friday, December the 2nd, my mother's birthday.
Mhm.
So Clark and I already had a discussion, a disagreement on my way home on the phone, because he said he wasn't planning on going to the birthday dinner for my mom. So we already had exchanged words on the way home.
Okay.
What does that got to do with
I'm answering, I'm trying to tell my side of the story.
No, what does that got to do?
I'm going to tell my side of the story.
But you going from
No,
you
no,
going
I'm
somewhere
telling
else.
you what's
you
happening.
saying we had a disagreement. It was a miscommunication.
Can I
It was
Can I interrupt him?
it was
Okay.
a misunderstanding.
Okay.
That's all it was.
Did I?
She made it to something that it wasn't,
Can I
that it
finish?
shouldn't have been.
Okay. So,
So-
let's do one at a time. So if he's gonna talk, let you talk. If she's talking, let you
Right,
talk.
so no matter what I
Okay.
say,
Let's not add to it.
I'm just telling you what
You're
happened.
piling on.
No, I'm telling you why I
You're
reacted the way I
piling
did.
on
Can
to
I
the
please tell you
situation.
what was happening?
Okay.
Go
Yes.
ahead.
Let's let her finish, please.
Now at this point, Jordan don't know nothing because I'm driving home, Clark on the phone. So when I walk in the door, now I'm shut down with you because I ain't got nothing to say to you. I'm just gonna go on.
She's upset, right? About
But
the
I'm
party.
not showing it to Jordan because I don't want him to even think that because he would always say, "Well, you mad at Mr. Clark, so you mad at me."
Right.
So I wasn't gonna do that. So I said, "Well, Jordan, make sure you're ready to go."
Jordan, can you put your phone down, please,
Wonderful.
in the session?
Because you're
Yeah.
going to your daddy house this weekend, so keep him straight or whatever. So I'm sitting on the phone with my cousin and she's asking where we're going at, and Clark walks over to me at the sofa and he said, "Can I show you something?" I said, "I'm on the phone right now." And so I said, "Carl, I'll call you back." So I get up to go look at the wall, and I walked away. I said, "No good way you ain't showing me that because that's been on there for a long time."
Well, okay.
And I even said to him, I said, "I'm not entertaining that." I said, "It's been there for a while." He says, "Show me." I said, "I'm trying to find a picture or something when we first moved in here." So I
Okay.
found my picture, but it didn't have it on the wall. So then I went and found like a video of something of his brother's birthday party. We've had birthday parties. And so I said to him, I said, "We've had birthday parties, gatherings over here. I've had baby showers over here. Anybody could have put that mark there. But I know for a fact that I've
Yes.
tried to clean it off there."
Okay.
And I'm looking at it like that. It's not even that serious. So I'm saying to my, "Devil, I'm not going to entertain you at this moment."
Okay. So
That's
you guys
not-
already
that's
had
not-
some friction already
this is
going
what I'm
on,
telling you.
and then something about a
Right,
mark.
so I'm like, I'm not entertaining
Okay.
that. And I said, Jordan, slide down the wall. So of course, now he had on the same hoodie right here. You see him in the picture. So when he slid down the wall, of course the thing come down the wall. But so then here comes Clark with like a clean something that he want to wipe the wall. I said, "Ain't gonna come off." And I tried that.
Okay.
I vacuumed the floor last week. I'm like, and I guess you missed it. And I just go
Okay.
on about my business.
Okay. Okay.
So I mean, that's what happened.
Okay. So now that's
I
just the,
dismissed
the
it.
mark, and then they're saying it's possibly can be Jordan's photo, not.
To me, that's
So
not a big deal.
okay. So Clark, so you're saying you're frustrated as the disciplinarian.
Every time I bring something to her attention that pertains to Jordan,
Mhm.
she goes straight from 0 to 100
What's something else?
Okay.
There ain't nothing else.
because I stopped because
After
of that incident. I haven't said anything to Jordan. I haven't said anything pretty much. Did you take the trash out this morning?
Ask him.
Did you take the trash out, Jordan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What time?
When I woke up,
Who told you?
myself.
Yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So
So
After listening to this-
so you proud of yourself because you took the trash out without being told.
Yes.
okay,
Because
and
I
that's
was-
what we want.
because I was
Actions
upset.
without being told, just doing things that we need to do. But so Clark, it looks like you're still saying that you did have the disciplinary role, but you still don't really feel like it's an actual role.
It's a waste of time.
It just feel like it's a waste of time.
It's a waste
So,
of
'cause
time.
I heard you say that after she gets upset if you say something about Jordan,
Yeah.
that you totally just checked out.
It's a waste of time.
So you just checked out. So you're saying you don't care to have that disciplinary role, or you're saying
No.
that you're going to just relinquish it because it doesn't make a difference?
To be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what I say or do, or how I put it down,
You overruled.
I'm overruled.
Okay, because that's the issue that we were talking about before. So you still, you guys are supposed to just do this role reversal just to see if some type of change and just see how it works, or if, some kinks need to be worked out there. So do you think some kinks need to be worked out, or do you want to keep going with that, or after these 2 weeks you're just totally frustrated with it?
I was frustrated from that moment when she said she's gonna give me complete,
Mm-hmm.
discipline, because I knew that wasn't gonna happen.
Because the dynamics of the home are the dynamics of the home.
Yeah. So I tried.
The dynamics of the home are the dynamics of the home. So
I tried.
and everyone has a role. So we did a role reversal. It's going to take some adjustment and some getting used to. So Regina, how did you feel about his disciplinary action or his new role? How did you feel about it?
I didn't see nothing happen. I didn't see nothing. I mean, my whole
Okay.
thing is the mark on the wall. You saw it. It's not a hole in the wall. Jordan's laying there. We just put this thing into place, so I know and he know. We just exchange words.
Okay, I want to stop you right there. Okay, that was that actual mark. Let's get away from the mark. 'Cause that's the symbol. We don't want to just be focusing on the mark. I'm saying, as his 2 weeks as role reversal of disciplinary, you say he didn't do anything, so you didn't see.
I'm trying to tell you. So if Jordan's right there,
Uh-huh.
and you now are supposed to be his main point of contact for disciplinary, I don't see where that's positive. Because unless you saw him do something,
Mm-hmm.
then you're.
I didn't blame Jordan.
I
All I asked you, I said, how did that get there?
I said, I know.
Okay. Okay, so why are we still focused on the
Because
actual
he
mark?
said he shut down at that point. Because ever since then, Clark ain't done nothing.
Oh, okay, so that was the shutdown
That's
point.
what he
I thought,
said.
but he just stated that once he said something about Jordan, and then
That
you were
was
going to
it.
say something. I thought he was telling me that was his shutdown
Ain't
point.
nothing else happened.
No. Like I
Okay.
said, did you tell him what happened when you got back from the school, Jordan Hardy?
We talked about that.
About what
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah, his brother was there. I didn't tell you that his brother was trying to beat him on and fight up on him. But he
Yeah, I
was-
didn't hear about that.
Yeah, no, but I mean, Artie did it before, but still, I feel like when Artie intervened and came to the meeting, like a big brother, all of that kind of just, I think it's resonating with Jordan, sitting with him, and his dad talked to him about being a Middleton man. We don't act like this. He got a cousin to the school that plays basketball. He got some positive role models right there. Don't show out that this is not typical for you guys, for your family. It doesn't make sense to be acting like that. So you gotta be, like his brother told him, when you went to middle school, your teachers knew who you were because of who he was. And he said your name carries something,
So you told him exactly everything that happened when you got home.
No, I didn't go through everything.
All right.
So, but it looks like we still have issues with boundaries, structure, and discipline. So, would you guys agree that that's still an issue? All right.
I think that if we're gonna go forward, I don't think that my husband is the right person because he shuts down, and I don't even know he's shutting down. So I don't think that he's the right person to do this. I think
The
this is-
disciplinary?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So that's why we try
Because
role
Jordan,
reversals.
I mean, he's not perfect. He's gonna need reminders. So if you gave him a thing to say, well, go to bed for 9:30, whatever, and you see him with things, it's not about reminding him.
What I suggest for you guys, just to go ahead and try, is to have a family night. All of you guys in the house.
It's not gonna work out.
Well, let's not be negative. Let's try it. So we got to try it. Let's have a family night where all you guys get together, Redbox movie on Fire Stick, HBO, whatever. You guys just get a movie, popcorn, all that, and just sit down and just enjoy a movie. Where no, hey, you, wait, hold on, what is that? No, let's leave it alone. Let's just sit down and have a night where you all can enjoy a movie. And then just have a discussion about the movie after that.
Why you said it wasn't gonna work out?
Because we've done that before.
Oh, I thought you said that we don't have time to do it.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you how to do it in a different type way. You all sit down and watch the movie together as a family and have a conversation about the movie. From the beginning until the end. Things you like, things you don't like, things you notice, how you would handle a situation, how you think that character should handle that situation, what's a different way they could have handled that situation. So I want you guys to sit there and just have a conversation about the movie from the beginning to the end.
Ain't gonna happen until January.
Okay.
Cause today's Thursday. We're here. This is a long night. So
Today's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
today's
Yeah.
Wednesday.
And
Oh,
they're
we
never
do it
be gone.
tomorrow. We do it tomorrow.
Okay.
That's the only time because he goes to his dad on Friday until after the New Year.
Okay. So if you guys can do it tomorrow, that's fine. If
That's
not,
the only time.
at least let's put that on the board.
Okay.
And then let's just try to communicate our feelings without arguing. It's going to be difficult. I understand. But communicate what it is that's bothering you. Jordan, if you don't like something, communicate it. Miss Virginia, if you don't like it, communicate it. Mr. Clark, if you don't like it, communicate it. But people are going to, I know, have emotions on it. But as long as you communicate it and it's known, then it's known.
What do you want people to take away from your work? This is a documentary. What do you want them to gain?
Just to know that they don't have to be afraid of receiving help if they need it. That it's not that stigmatized or not as negative as people may think that it is. And that even if you can't come to an office to receive mental health, there are professionals out there that will, go that extra mile or make adjustments to whereas they can receive the help that they need. If it has to be to come to a home, if it has to be to come to a school, if it needs to be to go to a certain family member house where they feel more comfortable. So a lot of times people say, I can deal with it on my own. And sometimes inside they know they really can't. So now we adjust our lives around our issue and around our problem. So now we learn to live with it. And now we incorporate it in our daily lives. But then we end up spinning our wheels. And they say, why am I still having the same problem? Why can't I get ahead? Because there's an impairment that's there that you're not really addressing. So I want people to know that you can get the help. There are people who look like you. There are people who come from your same social economic background. There's people that's dealing with the exact same things that you're dealing with at work, at home, school, even church, community, wherever there are people that's dealing with the exact same things that you're dealing with. Do not let pride, do not let stigma, do not let myths, do not let even family or friends stop you from being where you need to be if you feel that you need the help. It's there. Come and get the help.